You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law, voted best of Pahrump for 4 years. Give them a call, 775-727-9900. News 25 is also brought to you by Gunny's Air Conditioning and Heating. New, service, and repair. Call Gunny's, 775-727-6800.
Hello and welcome to this edition of News 25. I'm Unette Gentry. It is Tuesday, September 19th, and today we start with breaking news. Nye County Sheriff's deputies are currently in search of a suspect in the Mountain Falls area. They are looking for Christopher Storm, who was last seen entering the Bellicera community, hopping over a wall from Mance Road. Authorities warn that if you should see him, please do not approach Storm, and you should immediately call 911. In our other top story, thankfully, both the death toll and those reported missing, that number is now dropping as Maui officials are using DNA tests to help identify the deceased. RJ Camacho reports.
Due to DNA testing, the number of those who have died from the wildfires has been dropped from 115 to 97 people. Currently, the number of those missing has also been dropped as well, from 41 to 31 people, according to Maui Police Chief John Pelletier. The death toll has been a complicated challenge due to the chaos and extensive damage the fire caused. Some residents died in their cars, others jumped into the ocean for safety or even ran. There were even some cases where the remains of animals were collected alongside human ones as well. Dr. Jeremy Stulpnagel, the physician coroner with Maui County, had this to say. When the fire broke out, people ran together. They huddled together. They're holding each other in those moments, some of them even holding pets. According to the Maui police chief, 74 of those who have died have been positively identified. However, John Bird, the laboratory director with the Defense POW/MIA Accounting Agency, has stated that the current number of those who have died should be considered the minimum, as the number could still rise. John Bird said in a statement, "We look at body bags that come in and we do an initial inventory and we assess how many people are represented there. When you do the first tally of all those that have come in, the number tends to be too high because as you begin to do more analysis and examination, you realize that actually you've got 2 bags that were the same person, or you have 2 bags that were the same 2 people but you didn't realize that." He also spoke about how typically the numbers start rather high on the morgue side and then gradually settles until at some point it reaches the final accurate number. He also commented, stating that, "I would say we're not quite there yet." Anthropologists have been assisting Maui in order to help victims be reunited with their families and gather clues from dental work and medical devices such as pacemakers. Police Chief John Pelletier had this to say, "For the very first time, we legitimately have a chance to identify every single person we lost and to reunite them with their family. And so, in the midst of all this tragedy, there's a little ray of hope right there, and so that really is incredible."
Turning back now to more local news, Valley Electric's safety manager is telling us about work zone safety when you're out on the roadway.
This segment of News 25 is brought to you by Valley Electric and its family of companies focused on serving our members. We're better together.
Today we're going to be talking about work zone safety. We're required by government regulation when we're working on roadways or in road right-of-ways to set up a work zone. Usually that starts with a sign out there somewhere that says workers ahead or utility workers ahead. And then you'll see cones and you may see our vehicles working off the side of the road, and we have to make sure we're certain distances from the edge of the road. And if we have to block traffic, then we have to do certain other things to do that. But the concerning thing is that we have people that speed through work zones. Line work's a dangerous occupation in and of itself, but sadly one of the leading causes of death of linemen are they're hit and killed in work zones by vehicles. So we need to have the cooperation of the public when we're out doing line work, that they make sure that they obey the speed limits through work zones. And that's usually a very reduced speed. And just because the vehicle's not on the road, if it's just barely off the road and there's cones out and flags out, that's considered a work zone. And so speed should be reduced through that work zone for a couple of reasons: for the protection of our workers and for the protection of the public as they come into those areas, because sometimes we're up in an elevated position with equipment in the air, and obviously if we're out there working, there can be damaged equipment or something that could fall onto the roadway, or sometimes people congregate and they get walking around in our work zones as well, just come over to see what's going on. We have to be really careful with that because of the types of equipment that we use and the things that go on there. So if you see us working on the road right away, we'd appreciate it if you'd reduce speed and be courteous as you move through there, because there's lots of things going on that could injure our employees as well as the general public. Thank you.
In national news, both houses of Congress are joining forces to write a letter to the VA urging strengthening of protections for veterans who are being targeted by scammers.
Various U.S. senators and representatives have called upon the Department of Veterans Affairs, VA letter, to enforce pre-existing protections for veterans who are getting scammed when filing claims for disability benefits. They have also asked for information from the VA to know what tools they might need to help hold these scam artists accountable. The senators in question include Senator Jackie Rosen, John Tester, John Boozman, Richard Blumenthal, Lindsey Graham, and Representatives Chris Pappas and Brian Fitzpatrick. Current law prohibits individuals and businesses from assisting veterans filing claims for the VA unless they are accredited through the VA themselves, as well as fees for assistance can only be charged once the VA has made their decision on the initial claim. However, according to the press release, the VA and other federal agencies are limited in terms of actually enforcing the law on these kinds of actions, due to criminal penalties having been eliminated from the statute approximately 20 years ago. In their letter, they stated that maintaining the current status quo is not an option for our veterans who risk their lives to defend our country. We cannot allow unaccredited individuals to target veterans, offering them access to VA benefits for a price.
Well, September is National Preparedness Month, so Mikey Ruhan is giving us some helpful items to put on your emergency checklist.
National Preparedness Month is an observance each September to raise awareness about the importance of preparing for disasters and emergencies that could happen at any time. After an emergency, you may need to survive on your own for several days. Being prepared means having your own food, water, and other supplies. Put together a disaster supplies kit, which includes 1 gallon of water per person per day for several days for drinking and sanitation. Food, at least a several-day supply of non-perishable food, battery-powered or hand-cranked radio, and a NOAA weather radio with tone alert, flashlight, first aid kit, extra batteries, whistle to signal for help, dust mask to help filter contaminated air, plastic sheeting and duct tape to shelter in place, wrench or pliers to turn off utilities, a manual can opener for food, local maps, cell phone with chargers and battery backups. You can find a full list at ready.gov.
Well, don't go anywhere, because after this break, Elvis is entering the building. All that and more when News 25 returns.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on.
Welcome back to News 25. Well, local hotspot The Poorhouse hosts a tribute performance to the king of rock and roll on behalf of Steve Mason.
Because I love used to say. Thank you very much. You're a fantastic audience. Anyways, it was an honor to do a tribute to Elvis. And like Elvis said, there's enough room for everybody, and nobody's trying to be Elvis or anything like that. And there's so many entertainers that are really, really good and do a great tribute to Elvis, and there's only one like him. But I was proud to keep the memory alive, and that's what my job is, to keep my memory alive. I've been blessed, and I really enjoyed doing this. I want to thank the people from the poorhouse. I hope they did a lot of business tonight, and I really it was a real pleasure doing this interview with you, David. You've been really wonderful, and you're covering the whole thing. Long live the memory, and we're going to keep the memory alive.
Each time we meet love, well, I find complete love. Yeah, without your sweet love, tell me, where would life be?
I just want to say one more thing over here to my lovely wife. Thank you so much. I love you so much for giving me the support I need. And another one is to Johnny V for, actually real proud to have him as a friend. And he has a lot of connections up there. And thanks to him, a lot of things got done. I really appreciate that. Of course, one more thing to the poorhouse. I really appreciate them inviting Tom and I down to do the show. And we really appreciate it. Thank you so much, and have a good night.
I can't complain about the show. Steve was in the zone tonight. He was the best I've seen him. I loved his outfit. I'm proud to say that he is my friend all the way from Henderson, Nevada. He's been about 8 months. I've been trying to get him known all around Pahrump. He puts on an excellent show. I'm getting older. He's got to have to take over for me,
This is my lovely wife, Vicki, over here, that always supported me, and is my friend. He's like part of the family to me. He's always supported me in any Elvis things. We, like he said before, we don't compete. We just try to keep the memory alive. Like I said it once, there's only one Elvis, and we just try to keep the memory alive. And again, I really appreciate everybody that came to the show. We had a good time. Everybody had some fun. And thank you so much, and have a good night.
All right, rock on. And in other area news, First Choice Pregnancy Center hosts its 15th annual Diaper Run, and director Nancy Urin is telling us all about it.
Well, this is our 15th annual Diaper Run. What it is basically motorcycles as well as cars. It's like a poker run. They stop at stops, they get a number, and then they have a poker hand at the end. The registration fee is $20, passenger is $15, along with a package of diapers and a package of wipes. This is how we get our inventory each year when we do our diaper run. So we're raffling off from various businesses that participate each year to help with the cost of the center. We're not a federal or state funded. It's businesses, churches, individuals who support us. So we started at Master Tech Computers for the registration, and then continued on to Carmelo's Bistro, and then Horizon Market, the second Horizon Market on 372, going out to Shoshone at the Crowbar there, and then coming down Belle Vista to Shadow Mountain Feed and Tack, and then coming back up 160 to Parker's Kawasaki, and that they will end here and have a nice lunch and listen to Saved by Grace Band. A place where our clients can come, get free diapers, free wipes. We do free ultrasound exams. We have parenting classes, and occasionally formula and food. First Choice Pregnancy Center is located on 2240 East Calvada Boulevard, next to Southwest Medical and across the street from the Duck Pond. Our phone number is 775-751-2229, and we're open Monday through Thursday, 12 to 4. Wednesday is 10 to 4, a little bit longer hours for that day. And anyone can donate any time of the year. We're always wanting diapers and wipes, especially wipes. We go through wipes, as we put it, like candy. So if there's anyone out there who would like to donate diapers and wipes, we are more than happy to take the donations as well as financial monetary donations.
All right, we're talking health news when News 25 returns.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500.
Welcome back. Well, in today's health news, in addition to September being National Preparedness Month, it is also Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. And prostate cancer is one of the most common cancers for men in the U.S., which is why early detection is very important.
Early diagnosis means the possibility to find the prostate cancer an earlier stage, so we can offer you less invasive alternative that give us good oncological cancer control, but reduce the side effects.
Dr. Ruben Oliveras with Cleveland Clinic says treatment options for prostate cancer depend on the severity. For example, some individuals may only need to do some active surveillance, meaning they'll be monitored to see if the cancer progresses. If the cancer is more aggressive, their physician may recommend undergoing radiation or getting their entire prostate removed. And for immediate level cancer, they could be eligible for high-intensity focused therapy, which includes ultrasound waves to get rid of the cancer. This kind of procedure can help reduce common side effects like urinary incontinence and erectile dysfunction. Dr. Oliveras says there's also another newer procedure called NanoKnife that has similar benefits. It works by killing cancer cells with high-voltage electrical pulses.
The good news that the cells that are just inside that area where the electrodes are located, it's going to receive the electrical pulses, so that precise area is going to be destroyed, preserving the surrounding structure.
Men are encouraged to get their first prostate cancer screening by the age of 50. However, if you have a family history of that illness, medical experts say that you should have that exam earlier by age 45.
News 25 WeatherCam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
Let's take a look outside our Lerner and Rowe weather cam at the Las Vegas Wash. We see greenery there from that water, and we see blue skies and a few scattered clouds. We'll take a closer look at our weather all around the area.
News 25 weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Hi, good evening, Nevada. It's John Kohler from the KPVM Channel 25 Weather Studios, all up and down the beautiful East Country Radio Network and worldwide on the local BTV app, the app that is the only legitimate reason to have an internet. Fight me. Fernley, 84 degrees. It's 85 in Fallon. Carson City, 83 degrees. Very nice. Tonopah, cool spot. And actually, look at the low tonight. 44 degrees, just 12 degrees off the freezing mark. Time to get a little sweater out, I guess. It's probably at the back of the closet. Goldfield, 80 degrees. Beatty hit 88, 94 in Amargosa. Not too bad for a hot spot. Las Vegas, perfectly tolerable at 91, and out in Death Valley, it's 104. Here in the Paradise Front, let's take a look at our current temperature. 89 degrees, doesn't feel too bad. 91 just a little bit earlier. I remember it like it was yester-hour. Winds out of the south-southwest, just 8 miles per hour. Sun was this morning at 6:29, setting this evening. Let's look for it to go away at 6:45 under partly lightly clouded skies. It's going to be some gorgeous sunsets tonight. Good time to take your camera outside around, okay, go out about 7. It'll be great, really great. Heading for a low tonight at 62 degrees. And as we head on into the rest of the week, what do we see? Sunshine next couple, 3 days. Anyway, pretty nice temperatures, mid-80s. This weekend coming up, we get a little bit of cloud cover, but no real talk of rain. Winds staying pretty much under 10 miles per hour after Thursday. And we like that. Sun returns to us on Monday and Tuesday. Temperatures in the upper 80s, so that doesn't seem too bad. Lots of good stuff to look forward to, and I hope you are. All right, back to the desk. Here's Jeanette.
Thanks so much, John. The forecast is looking great. Well, that does it for this edition of News 25. I'm Unette Gentry, and from all of us here at KPVM and Ace Country Radio, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you on the air next newscast. Good night.